Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian own nothing, control everything. Thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 590. Trust Billionaire Talk. Definitely wanted to do something like this for a while now and really just share some of our thoughts about the rooms that and the circles that we associate in and how powerful they are and why it's so important to get out, do what people say, network. And this episode is going to go over, people that are on the fence for the last minute tickets, the last few tickets that we have for Trustee Training. Feel free to reach out and get those last few seats in Trustee Training. Definitely got a few. We already got a few days behind on this episode, but we appreciate everybody for, tuning in live, listen, replay, getting those last few tickets. So this is the Vault, episode 590, Trust Billionaire Talk. And this is an episode that is going to shed some light on being able to be around people that are ultra successful, ultra wealthy. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to go ahead and set the record straight for people that may or may not be aware is that surprisingly, the most successful people that we run into have been the most helpful. They tell us their work habits, they tell us how to move, they tell us who to actually connect with. And so this episode is Trustee Training for you. If you don't know the answer, you need Trustee Training. Is your home an asset or a liability? This is a question for people that say, oh man, I remember one time posted a post on the internet about people's saying, multimillionaires and billionaires don't own houses. I mean, excuse me, they don't take out mortgages on houses. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't even want to know that when you get into a certain environment where your business is making a certain amount of money, the bank, because of your business, will give you money for a loan for the house. So this is Trust Billionaire Talk. This isn't one of those things that's just a maybe or a kinda. Once again, when your business is making a certain amount of money, so it's so important to build assets. It's so important to build an asset, something to build for your legacy. Everybody want to talk about generational wealth, or so many people want to talk about generational wealth. But what happens when you build your business to a certain level and the bank can see that your business, you don't even need a loan because they see that you've been cash flowing and revenuing for $500,000 a year or $1 million a year. So many people want to brag about being bosses. Is their business able to be shown so there can be a loan taken out to buy the house of their dreams, not just some regular house? So you got to trust Billionaire Talk. It's one of them things where you sit in a room with billionaires or multi-millionaires, high net worth investors. They let us know, hey, Trust Christian in the Vault, build a business, man. You don't need to go build your credit up. Build a business. And the bank will pay for the house. They'll give you the money for it. Really? Do you have a plan to reduce your liability to zero? Most people don't. We got cases. We sat on the line this week and took a solid hour thoroughly going over how in the common law jurisdiction, the common law environment, it's based off precedent. It's based off of cases. So if it's based off cases, are we in the common law jurisdiction? Are we aware of what jurisdiction we operating in as trustees? That's what we're going to go over at the trustee training. Because we've trusted Billionaire Talk for a long time where they said it's not illegal to do that, Trust Christian in the Vault. We could show you the case for that. They showed us the case. We read the case. We took it to lawyers. The lawyers acknowledged the case. Sounds like we're doing right. Then we got some trustees sit online and say, well, how come the IRS will put out different information? Why would the IRS say to you that the ones that are sitting here dealing with tax liability say, oh yeah, you could do it? Are you liable for your business? Once again, trustee training. Are you liable for your business? Liable. Are you liable, ladies and gentlemen? Are you the sole prop? Think about it. If you got an S corp, who's liable for the business if you're the S corp? The beneficiary, right? Who's the beneficiary of the S corp? Next, that's why you need trustee training. Is your income vulnerable to creditors? Why wouldn't it be if everything is in your name? It's Trust Christian. Own nothing, control everything. We sat in a room with the billionaires and talked to them for a while. Multi-millionaires talked to them for a while. They don't have every asset in their name. So when it comes to these creditors jumping on your back, oh wow, Trust Christian Vault, I don't know if I really want the creditors on my back. Right. How do you get yourself in that position? Is your home vulnerable to creditors? Do you have a system to pass on wealth to your family? We're just so thankful for all the families that are coming to the workshop, all the families that will be there. We literally had more families actually at this workshop than anything. More families have doubled down and wanted to put their families in a room. We're actually going to be announcing another guest speaker here. Really excited about that. Had a multi-state insurance business, estate planning business for over 25 years. So really excited about being able to connect with people and get that interview up on the internet. Really excited about that relationship. Once again, private relationship that we have, and just getting that relationship up in front of the trustees, where they can meet a family that has been able to retire their seniors properly and not have them ever go back to work, and as well have those family members be able to work together and actually benefit long term throughout the family. So really excited for that. A system is so important, and that's what the senior trustee is going to talk about. Talk about that system that you pass along wealth from one generation to the next. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a fall off from Gen 2 for sure. From Gen 2, we're talking a 70%. I think it's actually a Gen 1 to Gen 2 falling off from one generation to the next. Appreciate EZL tuning in live from SoCal. Always appreciate EZL tuning in live from SoCal. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate everybody tuning in live, listening to replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you tune in live, listening to replay from. Got EZL tuning in live from SoCal. We got people coming in actually to this workshop from actually Cali. We got people coming in from a few different parts of Texas. Just off the top of our head right now, we definitely have Florida. We definitely have some Jersey. We have some New York. We have some Midwest. I think it's Chicago. We definitely got the Carolinas. So appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't. Definitely want to, always give a shout out to the areas that listen to the podcast. So feel free to type into the chat where you're listening live or listening to replay from. Are you investing in the right assets? This was an interesting question when we had our team put this together, which is, are you investing in the right assets? Ladies and gentlemen, this is not an easy question to answer because there's so many different things. We had trustees come to us about that crypto stuff. This was easy, easy, easy. What was this? Right after the pandemic, uh, they were, I was like 2022, I think. Uh, and they were in this crypto investment, and they took a loan out against their house. They refied. Oh, Trust Christian Vote, I'm making $1,000 a week. Straight up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I'm making $1,000 a week. 6 months later, a year later, we didn't hear about the investment, and we didn't hear about them getting their money back either. This is the reality. Like, oh wow, Trust Christian Vault, what's the good asset? I'm gonna go put my money into crypto, into these hedge crypto funds that you can put money into the fund, and next thing you know, it's gonna give you some type of what is it, harmonic or algorithmic based return. But then when we say gold and silver went up this year. Let's look at the price of gold this year. Even though we don't even consider gold an investment, we consider it a savings. Ladies and gentlemen, what happened? Gold, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what gold at. Gold might be at an all-time high still. How is gold at an all-time high and people don't have their money in it? because it's not sexy. That's all. Gold's just not a sexy one. It's not sexy for most people. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the funny part about it. Gold has it's been a little bit higher this year. Okay. Let's see. Gold definitely is one of those ones. Oh man, we actually have featured a gold speaker at our workshops many times, ladies and gentlemen. So we have no problem with doing that, making sure that the trustees are aware of actually putting their holdings in that and making sure that they're managing things in the proper position. Very actually gold's at an all-time high right now. How many people holding gold? How many people held gold before 2022 this year? How many people really held gold this year? You could type into the chat, oh man, I got a small piece of gold. Better to have a small piece of gold than no piece of gold. Billionaire Talk, we sit in the room with the billionaires. You think we don't hold gold? We think we don't hold silver? Silver accrued a great amount this year. Silver dang near went back to $30. We've been waiting for silver to go to $30 for how long now? We've been waiting for silver to get back above $25. That's really what we've been waiting for. Oh no, Trust Christian vote. I don't know if I can hold that type of asset. I'm gonna go hold the paper. Well, we hold the actual tangible asset. People have asked us about that. It's at 27.90 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Like, what are we doing here? People want to go hold these things. Oh, I'm gonna go get my digital assets. We in this BS digital asset era. Oh, if I get into the digital asset era, I'm gonna be able to live my life in a very fancy way. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital asset era. Gold hit about $32 this year, so it's not that we're expecting it to get back to $32, but it is at 27. So you even see that it's not gonna, it hasn't gone lower than 26, may not go back lower than 26, and 27 looks like it's actually a range for it to pull back up to go back up in the right direction, or just hold and range out again, ladies and gentlemen. Silver is an industrial metal, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that's inside of your cell phone. You think we not sitting in the room? You think billionaires don't know that it's inside of your cell phone? Did y'all know that these cell phone companies had cell phone recycling programs where they take the cell phone? Y'all can Google. We could put it into the chat right now. Google extracts millions of dollars. Excuse me, not Google. Excuse us. Apple extracts millions of dollars of gold and silver out of the cell phones every single year that people return to these companies. That's billionaire talk, ladies and gentlemen. You mad at the billionaires because they understand how to take the money back, put the wealth back in their position? When you could go out and buy it yourself privately? I'm gonna go buy the asset though, Christian. Silver looked like it did it this year. Gold looked like it did it this year. We're not saying the stock market hasn't been on the bull, but the stock market's been in the bull. But so many people think, oh, I'm gonna go buy a house. Then we got trustees coming online. This is a real story, ladies and gentlemen, so we could say it. Trustee doesn't understand that in Georgia, just one state, this is not legal advice or financial advice. This is the facts. Okay? So they put their house up for sale. The agent made them aware that if you put your house up for sale and someone gets under contract, you have to sell it. Well, they had it under contract and they tried to pull out of it. Why? Because they started assessing the market. They started assessing the interest rates. They started assessing the fact that they're going to have to move out and they weren't prepared to move out. So then they had to go get a lawyer. Guess what? The buyer threatened to sue, and as well the agent that threatened to sue. In that state, Georgia in specific, they can actually do that. They can sue you for not selling the house at that point. How is it an asset? You were going to sell it, but then you don't want to sell it now. And you would think in the clause, you would have a clause to say, well, if we don't want to sell right before, which clearly they did, they didn't want to sell, and they were being pursued to be sued. They came to the vault. Oh, Trust Christian vault. I'm going to get my house taken because I didn't want to keep my word. That's what happened. So the suit's out. Is the agent wrong for being able to exercise a state right? Is the buyer wrong for get ready to exercise a state right? But it's supposed to be an asset though. Here we go. This is a great one. We got trustees. Everybody wants to be a trustee, but do they sign with restricted signatures? Oh man, I'm gonna sign with the UCC. Well, that's public. Do you sign with a private restricted signature? Do you have a private resident address? Do you have a restricted signature? Do you use a restricted signature in trusteeship? How many people use a restricted signature in trusteeship? Type into the chat if you use the actual restricted signature and trusteeship, and that's what people go through trustee training for, to get those small details. Do you file the 1040 or the 1090 or the 990 PF? 1041 or 990 PF? We had a trustee come on the line the other day. Oh yeah, I'm gonna file the 990 PF. First of all, do you even know what makes it private? Do you know what makes it private, or are you just talking? Sometimes they just be talking, ladies and gentlemen, because no one's ever corrected them. But they come to the vault so we can work with them and correct them, so we can have the resources, so we can provide multiple resources, not just one, not just Trust Christian and Vault. We provide resources so when you do go back into public and you're dealing with public people, whether it's attorneys or other families, you know what you're talking about. Are you operating as a fiduciary of a family estate? You need trustee training. Bottom line, people need trustee training because they say, "Oh man, I have a hard time doing the minutes. Oh man, I'm coming from employee background." There's various different reasons on why they need trustee training as a fiduciary. Restricted signature, understand how to operate as a trustee properly, as a fiduciary in general, operating on the public side. It helps you improve your operations and fiduciaryship on the public side. When it comes to the insurance, making sure you're operating properly, making sure you got the proper insurances in place that aren't necessarily a drag to the company, they're actually a deduction. Are you using private banking properly? You think about that, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you all, they come on the line all the time. We meet people on the street. Oh man, I know about that private family banking stuff. I know about that infinite banking stuff. I know about it. But are you doing it properly? See, when you come into our sector, the private banking is for wealthy families. It's not for average families. That's the part people don't want to hear. Oh man, Trust Christian Vol, how can you say it like that? You can't just say, oh man, we shouldn't be having money. We shouldn't have a banking policy set up because we're not millionaires. What are you talking about? We sit in the environments where there are people that will say you should not have a banking policy if you don't have a certain amount of money. That's the billionaire talk for you. The billionaires don't want you involved. Why? Because they don't want you to mess it up. They know how to pass along wealth tax free. Not sitting here talking about, oh man, I don't know if that's a legitimate thing to do. We sat around somebody the other day trying to say insurance was a scam. We just looked at him like, this person literally just said that a 300-year-old investment is a scam. Your job's a scam. That's what's a scam. You can get fired. That's a scam. Scheme. Are you using private banking properly? Man, oh man, are you using private banking properly? They not using private banking properly. Why? Because they have multiple policies on everybody in their family. It don't even matter if they use the banking policy for banking purposes. The fact that I got insurance on my family. I got insurance, but I don't really use it for banking purposes. Exactly. Oh man, if I put my money into this policy, this is how we know people don't know what they talking about. Oh, if I put my money in the policy, I gotta wait for years. First of all, if it's a banking policy, when you put your money in the bank, do you have to wait more than 30 days to put your money in and take it out? No. Exactly. As soon as you put the money in, you could take it out, right? Right. That's who we work with. So how you doing it properly if you can't put it in and take it out immediately? That's what you get when you come to the trustee training. You need trustee training. We know people, they need trustee training. But we're excited to have the family sit in the room. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. We definitely appreciate you all. When we sit in the rooms with billionaires, man, recently, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we're on the line with billionaires actually quite frequently. And that might be hard for somebody to hear. Like, man, what's the difference, Christian, between them and the multimillionaires and everybody else? They learn how to operate with systems. That's it. One of the main ones. They of course have incredible work ethics, solid work ethics. But outside of just saying, oh, they know how to build a team, they know how to operate within a system. They know how to build systems. They know how to utilize systems to their advantage. 100%. We have to use systems, ladies and gentlemen. We know how to use systems. Uh, we know how to get people to do things when we want them to do it. As far as being a leader, uh, you have to be able to manage your time properly. Here's a code from Billionaire. People say, "Oh man, Trust Christian, you about to say it to us? I'm about to say it to you." So we're sitting in a room. This is actual, mentor billionaire. He says, "Trust Christian Evolve. Don't go to no meetings that you're not excited about." And we sitting there and we like, oh man, you can't say this to no guy like me. You can't say this to us. Why? Because we not in your position. Like you saying that because you in that position. The mentor saying that because they in that position. We're like, nah, man, we got to go to every meeting. We giving y'all gems and jewels right now. Sitting in the room with billionaires. Sat here and said that to us. It was like a heart struck chord. It was like, dang, man. Like, what do you mean don't go to a meeting you're not excited about? Even if it's for money. Even if it's going to feed your family. Don't go to no meetings you're not excited about. Trust Christian sat there and was like, well, I'm not about to listen to you because I'm not a billionaire yet at the time. And we just heard the mentor out and we let it alone. And then we came to the conclusion as we've grown. We said, you know what? We need to only go to meetings that we excited about. That's a hard pill for somebody to swallow when they got small businesses. But when you move into certain environments and when you're looking to move to the next level, you get it. Go to the meetings that you're excited about. Take meetings that you're excited about. Take meetings that you can grow from, whether it's you helping someone else grow or you growing yourself. That's a hard pill to swallow if somebody has a poverty mindset. That's a hard pill to swallow if you don't have an abundance mindset. That's a fact. Because we sat there and we had to grow through it. Don't go to a meeting that you're not excited about. Trust Christian Vote. Well, okay, whatever. We're not paying attention to what you talking about right now because you multi-billionaire. We ain't listening to none of that. Okay, okay. Here we go. Billionaire Trust, Billionaire Talk. People don't want to know. Once again, the most successful people respond back the fastest when you message them. That's a hard pill to swallow because that'll let you know the people that don't respond back fast, you might as well move on. Straight up. Straight up. When we message people now, the people that respond back the fastest, we understand that they're on their game. Remember one time messaging a lawyer for Nike, and she responded back on a Sunday, and that said a lot to us at that time. It was like, wow, this lady is responding. No matter what time zone she was, wherever she was in the world, she responded back on a Sunday. How many of y'all taking off on Sundays? But you want to be billionaire. You want generational wealth. We got if you really want to, you can meet with a billionaire. All you gotta do is be persistent. And once again, ask them, can you do ask direct questions, and really say, I don't want to meet with you for more than about 15 to 20 minutes. Every billionaire has been a non-billionaire, unless their family has been, billionaire for generations. But if they're first gen, they're still taking meetings with millionaires, and they're still taking meetings with people that aren't millionaires. 100%. You got to know this, ladies and gentlemen. It's a hard pill to swallow because as you're growing your wealth of your family estate, you're like, man, how do I grow my family estate? Well, you got to be able to put yourself out there. And that means, once again, that you're putting yourself in a position where you say, hey, can we meet for a short period of time? Well, trust billionaire, trust, what do you say? Trust billionaire talk. Who are your influencers? Who's influencing you, ladies and gentlemen? Who is influencing you? We're doing our best to go through our notes right now. Uh, Here we go. This is a big one. As a trustee and for yourself, are you working on doing amateur result projects or are you doing institutional grade work? Are you doing amateur work or are you doing institutional grade work? We could say that at the vault, we've always made it a point to be around institutions. So we understand what most institutions don't post on certain platforms because they don't think that that's their target audience. When in all actuality, their target audience is on a lot of different platforms. And are you an institution mentality or are you amateur mentality? Here we go. Trust Billionaire Talk. Hard pill to swallow. Want to deliver bad news early and fast. Want to deliver bad news early and fast to whoever you got to deal, whoever you got to do with. You got to put them on notice. So, what does your company look like 10x out? This is the difference between most people that are just working a business. They working a job, really. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna give y'all the harsh reality. Here we go. And we've heard this from multi-millionaires, let alone billionaires. They say, Christian, trust Christian Vault. What is your exit plan? No one gets in it. You would think, oh man, no, why am I going to get in the business to sell my baby? Why am I going to get in business to not have to, why am I going to get into business and not actually want to hold on to it forever? I'm going to have me a generational wealth family business. Well, first of all, we've consulted many families, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody came on with that original idea. It sounded real great. We got people right now in cybersecurity and pivoting from that because they understand it's not just, it's great business in general, but they understand that they don't want to work in the business. They want to work on the business so they can sell the business and then they can move on and do something else. See, there's quite a few people that say, oh man, I got a bunch of ideas in me. Just like Richard Branson, I got a bunch of ideas in me. Well, if you got a bunch of ideas in you, you might have to sell a few. You don't hold on to all of them. You sell a few. Oh man, I got to sell them? Exactly. Once again, you say, trust Christian Vault. What does that sound like? It sounds like a system of building wealth. When you grow a business and you sell it, and you do it over and you do it over and you do it over, you do it more than once. That's when you know you have a system mentality. Some people say, oh man, the system's broken, the dollar's broken. Okay. We're talking to the ones that say, I'm talking about generational wealth mentality. If you're saying generational wealth mentality, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking system and we're talking about selling your business. You're talking about having an exit strategy in mind. That's a hard pill to swallow because it may take you some time to say, man, what business would I ever build and I would sell it? What business am I okay with growing and I'm okay with selling to somebody else? Or reducing my time in the business and selling it so someone else can work in it and now I'm just sitting on the board and collecting shares. That's billionaire talk. That's trust billionaire talk for you right there. When somebody says, oh, I'm going to grow a business and I'm going to sell it. The average individual is not going to sell a business because they don't want to sell their baby. The reason why most businesses don't sell is because of pride of authorship. Most people want to hold on to the business instead of actually saying, what business do I have an interest in? Recently, Trust Christian Vault, we made a decision to go into a business that we didn't even like. We swore we would never go into it. And we went into it. Why? Because we know we're going to sell it. We already got that in our mind right now that we're going to sell this. We're not married to this business. That's the way you got to think if you're talking generational wealth system building. And we're not married to the business. When you're married to the business, you're a doctor. When you're married to the business, you're a lawyer. Those people that work most of their life now, they married to the business. They got to get malpractice insurance. And then guess what? Now these doctors and lawyers, they're about to compete with automated arms and legs. And these machines that can do surgeries and not make mistakes to lower human inefficiencies, to lower human errors. That's what. Trust billionaire talk. Oh man, trust Christian Vault. I'm in a business right now, so how do I pivot? You might have to start something once again from a system mentality and be ready to sell it. What is the number that you need to sell it? What number do you need to grow it to so you can sell it? These are the conversations that we have in Trustee Training with trustees. So you can feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Or as well, you can reach out and come to the workshop with the bit.ly or use the QR code on the screen. That's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Trust Billionaire Talk means we putting together systems so we can sell assets. People buy the house, they end up selling the house. That's an asset. Okay, it's the same thing for a business. Why don't people want to do that? Because they don't have the system mentality. That's all. They haven't been trained properly. So that's the environment that we're in. We're in a train your mentality environment. We're in a systematic environment. You set up one business, you grow it, you sell it. Sometimes we used to be you all might be flabbergasted to know there's not too many billionaires that actually grow one business and become a billionaire. If anything, traditional trajectory is there's multiple businesses on the path to a billionaire. Multiple businesses. So how do you expect what you can do in your lifetime? How do you expect to go from zero to billionaire or hero when you're not willing to sell assets along the way? And some of those assets may be the business that you build, which allows you to pivot into something a little bit greater. It's never going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I want to be billionaire. I want to be a multimillionaire. I'm looking to set up generational wealth. We used to be blown away by how many billionaires had, how many multimillionaires for sure, ultra high net worth investors had 10 businesses. You'd be like, dang, how do you have 10 businesses? You're only 40. How do you have 10 businesses and you're only how do you have 20 businesses and you're 50 years old? You're not even 50. Sometimes we were running into people, they're not even 50 and they got 20 businesses, all separate businesses. Some of them are making millions of dollars. Some of them are just starting. And then on the back of that, when you hear the other aspect of it, they'll be like, oh yeah, I got 10 of them that are running successfully, but I had 20 that failed. Oh, I got 20 businesses that are successful, but I had 40 that failed. You like, no way. It's no way you have 40 businesses fail. There's no way you can have 40 businesses fail. That means that you ain't even successful in business coming from the average person. They haven't even had 40 jobs in their life. How you gonna have 40 businesses and fail? How many people did you help lose their life as far as their career? You started a business and didn't people work for it? Sometimes they did, and the business still went under. Think about this. There's a company called Virgin, right? They had a company called Virgin Brides. It didn't work. Virgin Brides went under. That's Trust Billionaire Talk for you. He got Virgin everything, right? Right. He said, oh, we're going to do Virgin Brides. It didn't work. Tough pill to swallow, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear somebody say, oh man, I had 20 businesses fail. I had 30 businesses fail. That's not an easy pill to hear. Some people ain't even got off the ground yet. So we appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is Christian at TrustChristian.com. Once again, Christian at TrustChristian.com is the email. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens every single day. You're focused on building assets and selling those assets. Oh, I'm trying to make passive income money. Well, that usually comes from having assets, not working in the business. Oh man, I'm a day trade. I'm a day trade. How's that working on the business? That's working in the business. Do you have someone trading for you? Yeah, I got the computer. I set up an algorithm and all this other stuff. Then when you got a supercomputer that they dropped over 20 to 30 to 50 million dollars on, and they do that quite frequently to speed it up and make sure that it can get human error, AI human error. What makes you think it's not going to catch up to you? It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christian at TrustChristian.com. We look forward to hearing from you at the workshop. We look forward to seeing you at the workshop. This is already a packed room. We got a few tickets left. And it's in Atlanta. It's actually a pretty big weekend in Atlanta that weekend. It's a lot of events going on that weekend, so we definitely look forward to connecting with the locals. We look forward to connecting with people that are traveling. Safe travels to all the trustees. We always appreciate y'all. You know, y'all listen to the vault. Y'all have invested and worked over with the vault for years, and we look forward to serving y'all. Thank you so much for, once again making this a success. We definitely have announced the speakers. Appreciate everyone that is actually on the speaker list and going to be there. And we thank you all so much for making it a point to be there. But at the same time, Trust Billionaire Talk, people will be surprised. All you got to do is send an email to somebody. Ladies, people don't even want to know. If you get somebody email and it's the right email, it might take you more than 5 to 10 emails. We're just like we were on the line with a trustee the other day. What happens when you reach out on the ninth time and then they reach back out because they say, oh man, I deleted my inbox for over a month and I didn't catch your email because the way I delete my inbox. That's what people don't want to hear. Then when they get your email and they reply, ladies and gentlemen, we're in contact with billionaires all the time. people that have raised $1 billion funds. We were on the line. It's actually we were on the line this past week with one. He said we said, yeah, we know you raised $1 billion. He said, actually, I haven't raised $1 billion. I've raised six. You see how they talk? They want to stand corrected. They want you to correct them, and they're going to correct you if you're wrong. And you got to be okay with it. But it was just funny. It wasn't like literally funny, but it was amusing to know that, you say something like that to somebody that's successful like that, and they say, oh no, I raised 6 billion. Now, hey, whether it's for their own company, whether it's for another person's company, they raised 6 billion. Say, get it right. And you all have the same opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, because you're in trusteeship. When you talk about trusteeship or foundationship, when you talk about being able to operate in the foundation, it's the same exact thing, ladies and gentlemen. You definitely can expand and be in a position where, once again, successful people are looking for other people that are hungry and want to step up to the plate and get around them. And that's why we've done trustee training for all these years, because we knew that there were going to be trustees out there that they want to be in trusteeship, but they also have to look for successors like we have to look for successors. They have to look for successors as well. What do you think billionaires are looking for? They know they ain't gonna stay on top of the mountain unless they help quite a few people become millionaires. That was something that we noticed actually, been in the room this year with some billionaires, and we were just sitting there like, man, you won't get to this number unless you help quite a few people become millionaires. That's just the way it is. Like, you gotta be okay with helping quite a few people become millionaires. And it was interesting because the company had they have over 20 billion assets under management, but 100% they said, oh yeah, you gotta help out a bunch of people make some money, impact some lives. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you listen to live, listen, replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live. If you're answering any of these questions or not able to answer any of these questions, feel free to reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com, or we look forward to seeing you at the workshop through the bit.ly or the actual QR code. Look forward to hearing from you all. Once again, we do our best to do these episodes about relevant things to you, because so many people say, oh, I got all these ideas, I got all these business ideas, where do I start? But then when you hear billionaires fail more times than they won, but they still got 5 or 10 businesses that are successful, that should let you know you got a fighting chance. And nothing's going to be easy, but you got a fighting chance. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate everybody that does that. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.